Hey friends, and welcome back to the Black Hills Connection podcast. And today we have a special guest, Melissa Hampton.
Hello.
With Hampton Wealth Management. Yes. Thanks for coming in today.
Thanks for having me.
So this is fun because this is like the first time we've met.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know anything about you, and I love that because it's like a fresh slate, right?
Right, just get to know each other's sessions.
So. Yeah. So why don't you start off telling us a little bit about yourself?
Okay. Well, like you said, I own Hampton Wealth Management. I'm a certified financial planner professional.
Okay.
But as far as the Black Hills go, I've lived here for almost 20 years.
Okay.
So I came here for college and went to Black Hills State University.
Yeah.
So we have that in common. So my degree was in entrepreneurship and management. I went back and got my master's in business education.
Okay.
Had 2 small children, and then I was recruited by a big corporate firm in the financial industry to be an employee with them as a financial advisor.
Sure.
So that started
That
about
makes
8
sense.
years ago.
Okay, that seems like a road most people would take, right? But then you kind of mentioned earlier, we talked for like 1 minute, and your story. Now you own your own practice, I guess we call it. So kind of how did that switch happen?
Yeah, so in the corporate world, like I was a really good corporate soldier, like a lot of us type A personalities.
Yep.
So if you give me a roadmap to succeed, I'm like all about that, I will crush that. And so I did that for about 4 years. It went really well. I was lucky enough to do well in the corporate part, but also build good relationships with clients.
Sure.
So 4 years in, my kids were about 7 and 10.
Okay.
And my son had a big medical mishap where we were life flighted to Omaha. We spent 3 months in the ICU and a month in rehab. And
Wow.
it was kind of like a breaking point in all of our lives.
Sure.
And that really made me realize like corporate world's not how I want to raise my kids. Like
right.
these 60-hour weeks and big deadlines, it just wasn't working as a parent. So
Sure.
made huge life changes at that point for all of us, and opened my own firm downtown Spearfish.
Oh, okay.
I'm 10 minutes from home and
Nice.
go home at lunchtime and let my dogs out. But it's really nice. As my kids get older, like I need to be there for them more.
Yes.
But also like the way that I can help clients as an independent advisor is at so much more of a complex level. So it's been really helpful with those deeper relationships.
Sure. Very cool. Yeah, definitely that changes your perspective sometimes, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, I totally get that. Okay, so wealth management. So I guess I always feel like people love like a top 3. Like what are like the top 3 things I should know about wealth? Because first of all, I feel like people like wealth management. I don't have any wealth. How can I invest anything? I don't have anything extra, right? I feel like that's always like a big thing people say.
Right. Yeah.
Is that true?
Yes, I was really even hesitant to name my company Wealth Management because of that perception.
Yeah, like, oh, I'm out.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
So I mean, I think there is some truth in that because I think that. So let's do top 3. So number 1, I think that people can get really far with their finances with just healthy personal finance.
Sure.
So that would be like avoiding consumer debt. Knowing exactly what hits your bank account, like what you make and what you spend, and then paying yourself first. So a lot of us did not start contributing to retirement at age 22, which we wish we all would have,
right?
15 to 20% from age 22 on, that will solidify your retirement most likely. Wow. So I think just doing those small 3 steps for one, really can get people far. And a lot of the people that I talk to that come to me and they're retiring early, I always ask them, what did you do in your life to get you where you are now? And it's always those 3 simple steps.
Invest right away.
Yep.
Okay.
And pay yourself first. So I would say that would be number 1. Okay. Number 2, utilizing what you already have at your fingertips. So most people are employees. They have a 401k that they can contribute to. And it's astounding how many people do not even contribute the match, like the employer match.
Yeah, sure. Wow.
So just even taking advantage of that, and as a business owner, taking advantage of opening your own retirement plan for that, for saving.
Sure.
And then third, like you said, like maybe you don't need wealth management. Like you can get really far in life without having to ask for professional help. So when that would come into play, when most people come to see me are pre-retirees or right around retirement age. So they
Okay.
have accumulated a lot of wealth either in their retirement plan or they're selling their business. And now they need a professional to handle that for them,
Oh, okay.
like for the distribution phase in
Okay.
retirement. Other times would be if you're doing all of those steps, you're maxing out your contributions and you still have a lot of extra cash, great. Then you go to an advisor or a CFP to start making those extra plans.
Yeah.
So high income earners or business owners, that type of thing.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like that stuff, like, I don't want to, not that they're not teaching it in school, but I didn't take that course
Right.
in the 90s. Like, they didn't have it. But it's like, I feel like we just, need to teach youth, like, and I know they have like the different programs they do in the schools that guest speakers come at. But just, like the fact of like retirement, because like you're not thinking about me being 65 when I'm 17. I'm not thinking about that. But you're like, this is an important step. Like, save now while you can make money and like put it away.
Right.
And not purchase everything on Amazon.
Right. Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
Delete your Amazon app.
Delete that.
Yeah.
That's a good advice right there.
Right. No, and I think, looking now from a decade ago, that retirement planning or financial planning as a whole has become so much more important because maybe like even our parents, they retired with a pension or they had one job their entire lives. Entrepreneurship has really highly increased the rates of business owners. So people are just not planning and they're not getting pensions. So that pressure of planning comes back on the individual, which is where that becomes so important to either do those steps yourself and when you're ready, ask for help to make sure that you're on the right track for that.
Sure. So yeah, let's say I have an extra like $50, $100 or something a month and I want to like invest it or something.
Yeah.
So this is where, would you consider yourself like a financial advisor? Is that kind of the realm we're in, or?
Yeah, so that's your face is like the exact depiction of how confusing the financial industry is. So really a lot of people call themselves financial advisors and I think it depends on like your certifications. So, there's insurance agents that call themselves financial advisors and people who have their Series 7, which I do myself, and we can buy, sell, and trade on the market. We call ourselves financial advisors. And then the certified financial planning professional, the CFP, is the designation that I got to be able to go next level and work on those more complex like estate legacy tax planning for folks. So that's more what we specialize in. But you're right, it's really confusing. Like, who do you reach out to for investment advice?
Yeah.
And it probably depends on the person as well.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
But yeah, say you have an extra $100. Honestly, if you were my client coming to me, I would say open an online account and put it in an ETF.
Okay.
And when you start accumulating those funds to a point where you're like, oh, I kind of need some advice, then you can reach out. But you can get really far with healthy steps and doing things on your own as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's fair. Because I know people like, whatever, how do they say, like play the stock market or something. Like they put their money in different things and then it kind of goes up and down and then you take it out at some point. I don't know that much about financial things. So.
Okay. Yeah, no, so exactly. That's what I do for people. And if someone comes to me and, they want some wild individual stocks or when Bitcoin was, a thing and that type of thing, I tell them, we have steps. So we have 3 to 6 months savings. We have maximizing your retirement account. And then if you have some left over and you're not buying a house, you're not buying a car, you don't have any major financial goals coming up, great. Like go have fun stock trading and view it as like your deadwood money,
Oh, yeah.
Because no, the stock market is not gambling. However, if you are doing things like for fun on your own, definitely can be viewed that way.
Okay.
Yep.
So I guess you sort of answered it a little bit, but if there's anything more here, like who would need a wealth manager or, somebody, helping them financially and like who is this, like a client, I guess.
Sure. So the ideal client, that comes to me would be those about ready to retire. So they're having like a major life transition where
Right.
they need to look at their estate plan, their tax strategies, how to start distributing their wealth so they can use it as income in retirement.
Oh, okay.
That's how I view people that need what I do.
Oh, okay.
Other folks, you know, if they come into a sum of money or they've been really good stewards of their money in those steps that we talked about, and now they have accumulated wealth. And they're like, this is enough where like I'm getting
Yeah.
a little nervous about it.
Right.
That's when you need to reach out
Okay.
to a professional.
Okay. So like what MC Hammer did. Don't do that.
Right.
Just kidding. Well, I feel like all these celebrities, right? Like they get all this money and then they're like, you know, what do I do? And they just spend and then they end up broke again. Or like if you win, I've heard that too,
Yeah.
like when you win the lottery, you know, people mismanage or people take advantage of them. I mean, crazy stuff can happen.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
When you come into money.
Yes. And I've, you know, definitely had those clients. And usually it's in a very vulnerable stage of your life. So, I mean, I've never had a lottery winner client.
Yeah.
But most of the time it's due to a death in the family or the death of a spouse. And so
Right.
it is really important, like interview people, like find
Yeah.
someone that you know, like, and trust, and never make rash decisions. And any good advisor or planner will tell you that. Like you're in a vulnerable place, like let's get it, you know, settled first.
Yeah.
And we'll reevaluate in 6 to 12 months for a more long-term plan.
Yeah, because unfortunately, yeah, when, you know, death happens, then kind of stuff starts getting weird for families and people, right?
Yeah.
Can be a
Oh
little
yeah.
sketchy.
Everyone is very weird about money.
Yeah.
Whether you're really close or not in families. And
Sure.
so we have a financial planning program that's retirement focused, and it's 12 weeks, and estate planning is an entire part of that because it's so important to review your estate plan or get those documents set up in the first place.
Yes. I've heard that. Like, get your poop in a group, so to speak,
Yeah.
before, I mean, just long before you have
Yeah.
to worry about it, kind of.
Absolutely.
Just settled.
Right.
Yeah.
And I realized that, I mean, firsthand when I was in the ICU with my son and I was making literal life and death decisions. And of course, I'm really close to my family, but I'm like, who would make these decisions for me, you know? So I
Yeah.
actually called my attorney and set everything up while I was in the ICU for my own estate plan. And that's why it became such an important part of my process, because
Yeah.
I saw it firsthand.
And who you are now and the business you run now.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, so I was looking, you have a Facebook page.
Yes.
But I was looking, it looks like you do like a lot of education and different like community outreach things. Talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the business education degree, like I never liked public speaking, but through that degree, you know, you're forced into it. And I did some student teaching time with young kids or high school kids. So I love presenting. Like I love talking about money because it's such a huge factor in people's lives. Like
Yeah.
health and wealth are the two things that really affect your life. So anytime that people like need a speaker, like Rotary, maybe you saw I went and spoke to Rotary, or classrooms, like school classrooms or women's events, things like that. No, I love speaking.
Yeah.
So,
Are like your messages, are they kind of like what you talked about here today, or like what other things are you talking about?
yeah, I would say primarily, I just had a really great podcast conversation with two other women, and the conversation was about like parenthood, like juggling parenthood and business ownership, and how do we
Yeah.
still make our lives purposeful for the clients that we serve, but also to be really good parents to our kids. So that part of the story, I think, is just really important, like men and women, to know that, like, have that community to talk to about that, and that it's possible to do both.
Yeah.
You know, you just have to figure
Yeah.
it out and know where your priorities lie. So
Right. Yeah. Because that definitely can be skewed, because then you're taking business into the home, checking emails when your kids
Right.
are around. It's just like, it's all about like being present, right?
Yes.
Like in that moment, like I work on my work and then at home I'm home. You know, I
Right.
feel like women, it's harder for us for some reason to do that,
yeah,
you know?
I think so too. It's hard to turn it off. But if I give myself a window, like there's a lot you can do.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
if you had to take an 8-hour day and condense it into 4, like you could do it.
Do it.
I mean,
Getting
it'll
after
be
it.
tough.
Yeah.
But if it's worth it, you know, for you to have that time with your kids and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and that's, I mean, that is how we changed our lives. I mean, my kids were in daycare before and after school, and
Mm-hmm.
you know, now I drop them off at school, pick them up. I'm
Yeah.
primarily like a parent
Mm-hmm.
and secondarily a business owner, and
Right.
I'm really lucky to have that. You know, not
Yeah.
everyone has that opportunity, and it was really hard to get there.
Yeah.
But it can be done.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, cool. Okay, is there anything else that you'd like to talk about while you're here?
Oh,
You have this big platform.
yeah, no kidding. I'm writing a book.
Oh my goodness.
So,
Okay.
This is
PS.
really new and interesting. Yeah, so I went to this retreat, and the speaker said, you know, if you have a topic that people can't not hear, you know, which is the story of my son and what we went through in that life transformation, and it's really faith-based. And so I'm like, oh my gosh, like I have to write a book now, you know, like you told me.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
it's a slow process, but that's something new and
Okay.
fun. So working on that, and hopefully I have no
Wow.
idea. I've never written a book before. I don't know if it'll like
Yeah.
be done in 4 months or 3 years, but
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's a big task
exciting.
I've heard from friends who've written books. It's like it's a big deal.
yeah. So we'll see what comes of that.
That's really cool though.
Yeah.
I mean, that takes a lot of initiative to do that, honestly.
Well, thanks. It's
Yeah.
also very therapeutic.
Right. It's
You
like
know, to
journaling sort of.
Yeah, to sit down and write and be like, everyone is going to read what I'm writing. How can I do that in a way
Right.
that relates to other people? And so that will be interesting. So you know,
Okay.
to be determined on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then if people are in that retirement area, we open up cohorts for our retirement directive, which is that 12-week financial plan focused on retirement. So
Yeah.
super helpful for people. We do one-on-one consulting, of course, with their personalized plan, but also group education, like you said,
Okay.
about retirement topics like social security and
Yeah.
spousal benefits and insurance and income planning, the whole 9 yards.
All the
So,
things.
yep.
You know, you were just talking and it reminded me of something. I'm gonna like lose my train of thought now because I was like, oh, I gotta ask her about this. It's like totally random. Oh, but talking about you said like, where's your money going? Sort of like
Yeah.
every month, you know, like you said, pay yourself first. I did this thing once. I don't know what it was for, but it kind of was like, okay, here's your like, what are you spending? And it's like, wow, okay. Like when
What
you
you
actually
spend,
see
yeah.
what you're spending on, that's pretty convicting right there.
Oh my gosh.
Right. And you don't even like think about it. You're just like do buying things, whatever, and you're like, wait, what?
Yes.
Or like the app where it shows like how many like payments you have a month when you didn't even realize you were paying them.
right, all of your
that's crazy.
like subscriptions and
Yeah,
things like that
yeah.
you forgot about. I know. So I used to live my life on Excel. This was before all of the apps and everything like that. And
Yeah.
I've always kind of been a penny pincher. Like my parents will say that. I used to give
I
my
mean,
siblings
fair.
loans. Yeah,
that makes
that's what I
sense.
went into. And now I get to tell people how to spend money, which is really fun.
Right.
So yeah, nowadays, I mean, there's really no excuse. I mean, you don't need a fancy Excel spreadsheet. You download an app, it connects your bank accounts, and it's extremely surprising to see what you spend.
Yeah.
And people always think that they will spend less in retirement, but they don't. I mean, there's
don't.
Medicare costs, there's healthcare costs. I mean, they're traveling to see their
Well, and you're
grandkids
doing things like you're bored.
Yeah,
I mean,
go
not you're
have
bored, but you
fun.
know, like you want
Yeah.
to invest in your hobbies and your family
Right.
and all these things that you've sort of been waiting to do.
Yeah.
And that costs money. That costs almost more money.
Right.
I don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
And I want them to. Like, that's
Yeah.
the fun part of my job. I'm like, where can we send you on vacation? You know?
Oh,
like,
yeah. You're like getting all these postcards from like
Right.
people.
Right. Yeah.
awesome, though.
So, no, that's a really good point. I mean, there are no excuses nowadays to not know what you spend. And it can be shocking. I mean, I get it. Life is expensive, you know, and it keeps getting more so. So I
does.
think we all just have to be like good stewards of our money. It's part of our job. And no one is quote bad at money. You know, most people just need to get organized, and yeah, an app is a really great first step to do that.
Yeah, just to know where it's all going, right?
Right. Exactly.
Before it's gone.
Yes. Yes.
Awesome. Okay. Well, this is a lot of things then going on for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is. Yeah. I take
that.
it like one step at a time. I never I'm
Yeah.
very conscious of the hamster wheel that I was once on.
Yes.
So when I say I'm writing a book, like that could be 3 years from now.
Yeah.
It's on my table, but like pushed to the corner. But
Sure.
no, I try and really like manage that. I don't want to say like anxiety of things that you have to do.
Yeah,
I want it to be like fun and fulfilling and purposeful, you know?
No, I get that, but it's always like right there in the back of your mind, just
Right.
spin around a little bit. Like,
Right.
I see you there.
Right.
Check
Yes.
yourself, right?
Yes, exactly.
Very cool. Okay, so where can people find you on social and all that?
Sure. Yep. So, Melissa Hampton, CFP, you found us on Facebook.
Yes.
That's a great place for events, and we do an annual estate tax and retirement planning with other professionals in the community.
Oh,
so
cool.
go follow there for those types of events. Our website is hamptonwm.com.
Okay.
There's a quick 10-minute webinar on there called Retire on Purpose, and it just helps people kind of evaluate what their next step should be, a financial plan or wealth management, and how to kind of align what they've built for income and retirement. And then more personally, Instagram _ Melissa Hampton. So that's more like parenting, entrepreneurship. Maybe I'll have some stuff about the book on there. But,
Okay.
so that's
Cool.
more of a personal level. So.
Super fun.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And like as much as money is sort of like a cringy subject to a lot of people, and they're like, money is the root of all evil. Like it's not, but
Right.
if you make it that way. But just like you said, like being smart about it and not obsessing about it, but just like doing your best.
Right.
Like you said.
You can turn it into a game. Like it can be really fun and positive. Yes, you can view it as, oh, this is such a pain, and yeah, money is
Right.
the root of all evil. Why
Yeah.
do I need all this?
Yeah.
Or you can be like, gosh, if I really paid attention, I could do some really amazing things. And that's what's
Yeah.
really neat that
Yeah.
I can help clients through and see. Like they open huge foundation funds and like
that's so cool.
gift to these amazing charities and plan for generational wealth. And it can become like this very purposeful, exciting, positive
Yeah.
thing. It's what you're thinking about that. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, we all need money to do life
Right.
to a certain point. So it's like, make the best of it.
Right.
Sort of. Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for coming in,
Thanks.
Melissa.
This is great. Thanks for having me.
Appreciate you having on. All right. We'll see you guys next time.